all winded. I was just dancing around. It's what I do. Guys, you want to pump yourself up? Just throw on some tunes and dance around. Hello, you guys. Now I'm all winded. Maybe I should note to self, stop dancing a few minutes before I'm about to go live. Couldn't help it. I was into the song. So good. When you're in the zone, you just can't help it. Welcome, you guys, to Love and Liberate 2021. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so pumped that you are here. And I want to really welcome you and congratulate you on taking this leap. Okay. First, recognizing that you're ready for some growth. Okay. And I mean, I'm not a huge have to have New Year's resolution in order to like move yourself forward, or like, oh, I'll start on Monday. I don't really do that. I like when you're ready, you start. And when you know you're ready, you just know that you're ready. Yes. And good noticing, because a lot of people are having that feeling, but the difference between you and them is you're doing something about it. Yeah, for you. Yay. That's so good. Okay. I love it. So I want to set what you're doing here is you're setting yourself up for 2022, because all of this here, you guys, it's not by accident. Everything that's happened for you in the last year, it's just that it's happened for you. It all happens first in our mind. Anything that's happened for you in the last year, you created with your thoughts right before that. And anything that's going to happen to you in the next year is based on your thoughts right now. Okay? So why wait till January? Let's start the momentum train now. Okay? So this isn't like your typical workshop. The rules are there's no rules, because there's no right or wrong. Okay? We are going to truly reflect on what the last year has looked like, but there's no right or wrong. It just is. Okay. But the intention is to challenge your current thoughts and raise your awareness so that you can create new stories for yourself in 2022. Okay. So if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, or you just feel like you need a kick in the pants, I'm a professional pant kicker. Right? You're in the right place. But I encourage you to play full out. Don't half-ass this. I want you to turn off the notifications. I want you to get into it. If you haven't had a chance to print off the workbook, I want you to open it on your device. Okay? When you do challenges each day, that I'm going to give you a challenge today. I'm going to give you a challenge tomorrow. You can enter to win prizes. I have coaching. I have $500 gift cards for you to use towards High Vibe Tools. Okay. But during this, I want you to write things down. So if you haven't printed out the workbook, that's okay. Grab a pen and paper. Okay. Because writing causes thinking, and it'll build momentum in what you're trying to accomplish. Okay. So feel free also to comment in the chat, get engaged, build momentum with each other. Okay. You didn't just attract me in for a reason, and I'm so honored to be the messenger of this workshop for you, but you attracted each other in as well. Okay. And when we're hanging out in our High Vibe Society, we study together every single morning, and every single day, it's like we come away going, oh, it's true. We attracted each other in, and it's crazy how our aha moments just come off of each other, right? So you attracted me in, but you also attracted in anybody that's doing this workshop with you right now. Okay. So I want you to know that you can. If at any point you say that you don't like something, you're really saying that you want it. Okay. So the mind doesn't understand, don't. Okay, so if you're reflecting on things and you're like, I don't want this, you don't focus on what you don't want. Okay. So if you're thinking, I don't want a pandemic in 2022, don't even put that out there. Could you imagine if the whole world like tuned up their thoughts and just stopped giving it all energy? That would be incredible, right? Regardless, your goals will come true if you really want them. And you might be saying, but I do really want them. I've wanted them for years, but they weren't happening for me. Stop thinking about how they're not happening for you. Because if you're thinking about the problem, you can't think about the solution. Okay, so that is why we are here to love on the things that serve us and liberate ourselves from these stories, from these attitudes, from these beliefs, from these behaviors that are not serving us. Okay, you can either take the long way or you can hang out with me for the next 2 days and we're going to take a shortcut. Guys, I've been doing this for years, and that's what coaches are for. Coaches are here. We're here to take you from here to here in a fraction of the time. That's why I'm here. That's what I do. Okay? There is only one decision. It's not a matter of if you reach them, it's how you reach them. And it turns out that the how isn't up to you. Okay? So let's get started. What you can expect. So today we are going to leverage and reflect on 2021. We're going to set the tone for some goals and purpose for 2022. And then tomorrow we are going to release and decide to step into 2022 with our goals already achieved. They're done. So what are you going to decide on? Okay. So step one, let's just get right into this. Okay. Let's reflect back. Think of yourself. We're not going to hang out here for long. I'm not a huge fan of reflecting back. Think of yourself 5 years ago. And I want you to write down how much money did you make in a year 5 years ago? What was your annual income 5 years ago? I know what mine was. Okay. Now I want you to write down 1 year ago. How much money did you make annually? Now, when you look at those two numbers and you see them side by side, how does that make you feel? Choose one word to describe how that makes you feel. And I want you to put it in the chat. How does it make you feel when you see those numbers side by side? How does it make you feel? Put it in there. Write it out. Don't worry, there's a purpose to this. We're going to leverage this. I promise. Baby steps. Yep. Sad. Angry. I've come a long way. I feel like I'm moving backwards. Limited. Disappointed. Good. Keep reflecting. So leave that there for a minute. And now I want to review with you the last year. Okay? And you might think, like, why would we do this? Why look back? It's done, it's over with. We can't do anything about it. So why? We need to acknowledge what has happened in the past so that we can have gratitude for what served us well, right? Gratitude, AKA the number one vibration raising tool. And then also release and liberate ourselves from what didn't. Okay. We cannot go into the next year with new goals if you have not released the perception of past failures and fully embraced failure, since it's how we grow. We were talking in the High Vibe Society. I do a webinar for them every week, and we're really going through the universal laws right now. And we were talking about that law of polarity the other day. And the law of polarity says that everything has an opposite, and everything and its opposite exists at the same time. So as humans, we think, oh, I'm spending so much time and energy, like avoiding failure, avoiding having no money, avoiding pain, when failure and success coexist. Rich and poor coexist, because everything's perception. How do you perceive it? I can promise you that you cannot have success without failure. It is how you grow. And how do you know you're successful if you haven't had growing moments? You have to release that perception. That perception is holding you back in a big way. Okay? So I want you to bring out your worksheets. Okay? And again, if you don't have it printed off, I want you to grab a piece of paper, put a line down the middle, write like love on one side of the thing and liberate on the other. Okay? And first, we're going to focus on the love side. Okay? Write love on the left. You'll see, for those of you that have your worksheets available, you have two columns, love and liberate, right? Love on the left column, what went really well in that month. And in the right, you have a liberate column, what you didn't do. Okay, so 2021, similarly to 2020, has been a bit of a strange year. If again, everything's perception by comparison, right? Compared to 3 years ago, even 10 years ago, right? It was a bit of a different year. Okay, but we're not going to give it energy, because that puts us in a negative vibration. And at every single time that you think something, you're putting an order out to the universe. Kind of like if you went to a restaurant or you called up the pizza place and said, hey, I'd like to order a pizza. Every time you think, you're putting an order out to the universe saying, this is what I want. Right? Don't do that anymore. We're not going to give it any energy, but we're acknowledging. Okay? So look at the liberate column and you have to decide. After we do this, are you bringing this into the new year or are you leaving it behind? Okay? I want you to really think about this. Now let's start first with January. Everybody got their pen and paper out? Everybody good? Awesome. Let's start with January. What was happening for you during that month? What was happening for you? I'm actually going to put on some tunes. Everything's better with music. Everything's better with music. Think about January. I know that was a long time ago. Okay. remember that far? What was your New Year's resolution? Ask yourself, how are you feeling? After all of the things in 2020, how are you feeling last January? I remember just feeling ready. I remember feeling ready. Just ready. What was your resolution? What did you start new last January? Everybody does it. Everybody does it. Did you start eating healthier? Did you start exercising? Did you commit to positive thinking? Did you decide that this was your last year in this job that you're in and you were going to build something new? I don't know. What was it for you? What inspired you? Again, if it's something positive, put it on the love side. And if it's something that, yep, this happened, you got to put it on the liberate side. Okay. In January, who is next to you? Who is walking along with you? Who'd you start hanging out with? Maybe you decided to stop hanging out with somebody. Did that person come back into your life? The people that you've been hanging out with since January, do you want to bring them with you into 2022? Who are you hanging out with? What were some really great things that happened? What were some really great, awesome, you might have to bring out your calendar, see what you were doing last January. As you're thinking about January, what stopped happening? What stopped happening? What was something that challenged you? What was something that you said goodbye to that you were never going to do again? Something you were never going to experience again. I remember for me, so in 2019, I actually invested in my first coach ever. I'd never had a coach before. Outside of like in my network marketing company, there's like lots of awesome leaders, right? But I'd never had a coach, right? So 2020, I was like, everything was getting real. And in 2021, I was like, I'm pouring into me and like committing to just, I'm ready to just serve the masses. And in 2021, I actually committed to another coach. Remember for me in 2021, we had decided to keep our kids home from school. So I was committed to homeschooling at the same time. What were you committed to? All right, let's move on to February. Again, same thing. Go through your mind. In February, what inspired you? Who was next to you? Who are you spending your time with? What stopped happening? Usually by this point, the New Year's resolutions that people make in January, those stop by February. It's a statistic. We stick things out for like 6 weeks and then we're like, did you stop yours? You're just going, oh, darn it, I did stop. What was something that challenged you? I know for me by this point, because I love to travel, I was really missing traveling, right? We hadn't traveled all of 2020. I usually like to go somewhere when it's cold. So February, I was like, oh, that was challenging for me. But man, did I have a lot of growth getting out of my comfort zone. Right? I was missing travel, so I just poured into myself. And by this point, I was really seeing, because my kids were home 24/7 as well, that they were just like steeping in my tea, right? I was spending so much time with them. And because I was pouring into myself, I was proving that as I pour into myself, that it automatically impacts my family in such a positive way. It was so cool. I remember having that aha moment. Kind of stuff we got going on in February. You've got Valentine's Day. Nothing really happens in February, does it? I remember Valentine's Day, like really committing to loving myself. That was a big one. All right, let's move on to March. Okay, so March comes. I remember the world started opening back up, and I was like, yes, the world's opening back up. Weather's getting a little bit nicer. I remember at this point, because I was trying, I was really playing around with each month, really paying attention to what outside circumstances were impacting me, right? Because 2021, I was like, I'm done with outside stuff running my life, right? But I remember thinking as the weather was getting nicer that how much the weather had an impact on me, that I was like, that's ridiculous. I'm not even letting the weather have an impact on me anymore. Not gonna happen. I've proven to myself that I don't need to go somewhere hot and tropical all winter long to have joy in my life. I've proven this to myself. I hadn't done it for 2 years, 2 winters. The weather was getting nicer and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to embrace all the things in every season. Where I live, I'm in Southern Ontario. We have 4 very distinct seasons. We're coming into it. But again, what inspires you? What inspired you in March? What happened for you? What about April? What was something that happened for you in April? If you're joining me from Canada or parts of the US where you have 4 distinct seasons, we're really getting into the goods now. Who are you hanging out with? I remember for me at this point, the High Vibe Society was really beginning to flourish. And I just remember thinking, because we started the High Vibe Society last January. It was by April, it was really starting to flourish. And I just thought, oh, I'm so grateful to intentionally surround myself with people that are interested in growth. Because indirectly, it causes me to grow too, right? We're steeping in each other's tea. It was so good. What was happening for you in April? Maybe April was a time that you released a relationship, or you decided to create order in your home. We sometimes do that in the spring cleaning, right? Because when you create order, man, so many good things happen. So many good things. What's happening for you? What about May? I remember May was the first time I decided to even like step foot on TikTok. I've been like avoiding it for a solid year. You've blown up. It's getting outside. My kids were grateful to get outside too. And we actually wrapped up, because we were homeschooling, we actually wrapped up school at the end of May. Our pool was open. We had it open since like April, probably. Because we were home like that. What was going on for you in May? Now let's look at June. This is when I remember for us, the world was open. We were like, hitting up all the spots that we love to hit up, patios and parks, and like just having gatherings again. June and July and August are big birthday months for us. So we were actually like hosting parties. It felt so good. I loved it. Okay, we're halfway through the year. We're in June. How's it going? All of this stuff for 2021. What did you do in June? Oh, yes, you started thinking into results. Smart move. Love it. Oh, another one who started thinking into results. So good. What about July? I know in July, we always like to, we travel up to our cottage. We have one on Manitoulin Island. It's my youngest daughter's birthday. And again, I just realized how much I had missed family gatherings. It's so good. What were you doing this July? It's not so far away now. Seems far away. Wasn't. What about August? Were you guys traveling? Did you have staycations planned? See, I don't miss travel so much in the summertime because I just love just being outside. There's lots of nature where I live, lots of lakes. We've created an oasis in our backyard. We hang out there. What were you guys doing? What happened for you? Maybe it was a relationship that ended. Maybe it was an aha moment that you had. What happened for you in August? Remember, you gotta love and liberate. Keep reflecting. Now, what about September? September, just like January, the month of new beginnings. Kids go back to school. Some people went back to work in the office. Some people were still working at home or trying to figure it all out. Lots of virtual conferences, remote learning. What was going on for you in September? What did you commit to doing? Did you say my summer nutrition diet is over? I'm getting back on track. May as well skip ahead. What month did that end on? I know in September I gathered, it felt so good again. I gathered a incredible group of leaders and we had a retreat out on the water. I see some of you guys on now. Isn't that incredible? That was in September. That was so good. More retreats to come, you guys. More retreats to come. What about October? We're getting there, you guys. We're getting there. What about October? I remember, like, the only thing that really happens in October for us is Halloween, Thanksgiving. And I just remember thinking, gosh, this just feels so normal, right? Like the family gathered, Halloween felt just, everybody was out, the energy was great. What was it like for you? Maybe you're just like, no, not at my house. Liberate. What was it like? And what about November? This is just last month. I feel like Christmas came early again. Everyone was in the spirit early. I'm a November 1st, everything goes kind of gal. But up until the last 2 years, I felt like not as many people are doing that. More now. There's something about getting those lights up, that tree brings the joy. Maybe November's not as joyous for you. Write it down. Now, what about December? What has happened for you this month? What has happened for you? Oh, I love it. Lots of Netflix, Christmas movies. Oh, I love it. Keep going. What else is going? What's going down? How are you feeling? Key piece. Oh, I don't know about you. I feel like I could just listen to this music all day. Love it. Okay. There goes 2021, just like that. Thanks to you guys for posting in the chat as you were going along. That was awesome. I felt the love. Now, you guys, it is time for the liberation process. Here is your challenge. What I want you to do, and I want you to record it, take a picture of it, okay? I want you to cut off the right side of that paper, okay? I want you to take that liberate side and I want you to read it over. I want you to read over also the love side. I'm sure some of those things you shouldn't actually be liberating, okay? And I want you to burn, cut, red, whatever. I'm a huge advocate for burning stuff. Turns out I'm a pyro, who knew? I want you to liberate yourself from that piece of paper. Okay, now you're going, really, is burning a piece of paper going to actually liberate me? It resembles the liberation. Okay, but I want you to video it or take a picture of it, and I want you to post it in the group. Okay, I want you to release anything that does not serve you. Okay, and I want you to remember that nature abhors a vacuum. Okay, so meaning that every time that there is a space made, it needs to be naturally filled. Okay, just like how the earth, if you can prepare a plot of land, but if you don't plant seeds in it, the earth will grow weeds in the garden space. It's inevitable. Like if you don't intentionally fill that space, weeds will grow. So you have to make a determined effort to release the things that are not serving you and also replace them with the things that are. Release the bad, replace it with the good. Okay, and I want you to actually post a picture. Send me a picture. Okay? And now keep the momentum going, and I want you to prepare for tomorrow. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Step 3 is I want you to decide what you want and acknowledge the fear. Okay, what kind of intention do you want for 2022? Okay, and as you're thinking about this, you are planting the seed. And this seed starts putting you in a different vibration. Okay, when we are going for a goal, we go through 3 different stages. And if you know and acknowledge them, you can take action to reprogram them so that you're not retreating, AKA giving up on your goal by March 1st. I don't want you giving up on your goal. Okay? So acknowledge the steps. The first thing that you are going to go through as you start to entertain something different, understand that right now, that first step is what you're in right now, and it's called bondage. Okay, so this is your conditioning, or you've heard me call it your paradigm. And this is X type energy. Okay, let's just call it X type energy. So you are in an X type vibration, walking around, taking everything in. And when the energy source, the power flows to and through you, you're then having X type thoughts. Right? So if your goal is to start earning $1 million in the next year, and right now you're earning 50, acknowledge right now that you're earning $50,000 a year is because you're having $50,000 thoughts. And people having $50,000 thoughts are not even thinking like a person that's earning $1 million. Mostly they can't even dream about it. That's why even some are going, oh, really, Dylan? 50K to $1 million? Like, why don't you just jump into 100? Right? Can't even imagine it. Mostly because they don't expand out of what they keep having, like the thoughts are year after year. So they keep getting the same results. Okay, and most are living in bondage and they're not free. They don't even understand the concept of freedom. Okay, and there's no awareness when it comes to this. And this is where you see, like, we just follow the followers. Even if, like, and I know I was a big I thought I was a leader, but I was a follow the follower, right? And I did everything in the right order, right? I went to high school and then I went to university and then I went to the university again because they kept just like, I was really good at regurgitating information. So they just kept giving me degrees. And then, I got a job and got married and had kids and, you know, bondage. Felt like bondage too. The second stage that you can go to, this is called reason. You're here right now. Okay. So take the same individual with these X type thoughts, reasonings, and behaviors, and now they start entertaining a Y type idea. They start entertaining something different than what they've always been entertaining. And as long as this Y type idea, and this is what I'm getting you to think about right now, right? As long as this Y type idea is in their conscious mind, it'll stay there, right? Maybe you're going, oh, sell the business, start a business, leave the relationship, start a relationship, gain the weight, release the weight. Okay. But the difference here is that they are starting to entertain something bigger than themselves, something different. And they aspire to be somewhere different than where they're at right now. When this happens, I want you to understand that when you start entertaining something different, this is your uniqueness seeking expression. Every single one of us is unique. We're not supposed to be the same. Okay, they begin to think differently. But as long as you don't bring emotion into that thought, you're going to stay right where you're at. And what's really going to keep you at where you're at is level 3. And this is fear. When that X type energy in your subconscious, okay, this is what decides the vibration that you're in. Okay, this is you. You think a thought, you take everything in through your 5 senses and you think the thought. Wouldn't it be cool to have $1 million? Unless you start getting emotionally involved in it, it's going to stay here. Okay. Your body, which is vibrating at a high rate, we know this. Okay. It's taking order from your subconscious mind, not your conscious mind. Okay. But when you start getting emotionally involved, like, what would it look like if I had $1 million? Oh, I would do this and I would give to these people and I would take my parents on a vacation and I would blah blah blah, I would start a foundation and I would whatever. Like you start like bringing life to it. Okay? It changes your vibration. Okay? It changes it from our feeling mind. Okay? Feeling is just a word that we as humans use to describe what vibration we're in. Okay? I'm in a high vibe, right? I'm going to be vibrating high if I'm happy, excited, enthusiastic, optimistic, right? I'm in a lower vibration if I'm sad, angry, mad, anxious, depressed, right? Like that's what we use to describe our feeling. Okay? So here you have a person, you entertaining, you've introduced this Y type idea into your mind. And when that happens, because your subconscious mind is used to entertaining X type ideas, you get in this XY vibration and it's chaos. Turns into absolute chaos. And what's going to happen is instantly worry, doubt, fear, it registers on your conscious mind. Okay? So when we have ignorance, just not knowing in the conscious mind, like we don't know where we're going, right? This turns into fear in our subconscious mind. which turns into because we don't express fear, we suppress it. And it turns into anxiety. We suppress that, turns into depression. We suppress that. It turns into dis-ease in the body. Hyphenate that. You try to tell me someone that's depressed, that's not feeling it in their body, you're not going to find anybody. Turns into dis-ease. And you stay in that state long enough, turns into disintegration. It's the universal law. You either create or you disintegrate. So as you were reflecting on 2021, if you found yourself in a state of anxiety, depression, for a lot of that year, you were hanging out over here in this negative polarity. Okay? Fear, in a state of fear. A lot of the world's in a state of fear. But I can promise you, if you continue in the next year to make decisions from a state of fear, you are as far as you're ever going to go in anything. And I promise you, how you do one thing is how you do all things. So whatever you decide, you can say, oh, I want to make $1 million in my business. It'll automatically impact your health, your relationships, your self-image, everything. Your bank account will just be a perk. Okay? So what do we do? When we are hanging out, and maybe you reflected on this when you were reflecting on 2021, if you're hanging out in this negative polarity, now all hell's breaking loose, right? What typically happens is we retreat back to bondage, and then the cycle continues. I talk to people every single day about their goals, about their desires, their aspirations. And the main thing I hear from people is, I feel stuck. I feel stuck. I know what I want, but I don't know how to get there. Back in bondage, right? Person wants to buy a house. They go, they have the money, they don't because they're scared. Person wants to quit their job and start a business. That's what they want to do, but they're scared. Fear will strike when we start thinking, what if I lose? It all comes down to this vibration. Okay, there's a Thoreau. He actually says, if a person advances confidently in the direction of their dreams and endeavors to live the life they imagined, they will meet with success unexpected in common hours. Guys, you have to endeavor. You have to try. How do you do this? You just ask, am I able? And am I willing? You make a decision. Okay, I want you to be in this vibration of your goal moving forward so that it's not chaos. Okay, so first, let's set up a purpose and a goal. Okay, do you have a definite purpose? Like a definite one that guides all of your ambitions and your visions and your goals. Okay, can you imagine how your 2022 would look if you adopted a definite purpose and then stood by that purpose until it had time to become this like all-consuming purpose? Could you imagine that? What your life would be like? Because I can tell you guys, most are not living their purpose. If they even know their purpose at all. Everybody has one though. Every single human on this, every single thing on this planet has a purpose. But we live in a society that follows the followers. And our society is not set up for us to get everything that we desire, which is why most people can't imagine doing anything different than what their parents did or their grandparents. The fact is that each of us has specific talents, gifts that are uniquely coded within our DNA. And as you go through life, you don't just pick up things you like doing by chance. You discover what you're good at because you were meant to discover it. Just like you were meant to figure out what your fingers do, or how your elbow works, or how to bend your knee and kick something. Okay? Your unique gifts are hardwired into your system. Okay? Just as surely as your lungs are given the blueprint to breathe. Okay? And it's these specific talents and gifts that you're able to define and determine your definite purpose. The reason why you're here. What's in you cannot be found in another living human being. Even if someone has the same likes as you or the same talents, the same knowledge. There's a million people with the same degrees that I have, but they don't use them like I do. Not really using mine either. Nobody is like you. So by you showing up on this planet and not being on purpose is crap. Like you were obligated to show up as your on purpose self. Because you were put here for a reason, to do awesome things. And in my mind, I just remember always thinking to myself, like, oh, I'm doing awesome things, but I don't love it. I don't love it. Like, I can't tell you one person that was not shocked when I resigned at my job in corporate healthcare 5 years ago. They were like, what? Are you nuts? You're making six figures. You've got a pension and benefits. You're really good at your job. I was like, yeah, I'm really good at it, but I can be good at anything. I just took pieces of that job that I loved, created my own job. I love hanging out with you guys. You can do anything. You were designed for it. That's why you're here. But if you fail to determine your definite purpose, everything else is just going to feel wrong. And that was the thing. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. It's like working with a broken compass. You're just kind of like wandering aimlessly, feeling stuck is how we describe it. Right? And you might think you already know what you're good at and what you love to do. But then your paradigm comes in and you think, oh, I love to knit and I'm a really excellent knitter. I'm not, by the way, but somebody is out there. But man, how could I make money? I couldn't make money doing that. Not with that attitude, you can't. Whoever gave you that idea. Okay, when you're sorting out your purpose, I don't want you thinking about that non-issue at all. Because you can earn money doing anything. Once you determine your purpose, once you do that, you won't even have to think hard on how to earn money. When that happens, it's as if you're being guided by this like unseen hand heading in the right direction. And it all just seems to fall into place. The law of compensation kicks in. The law of compensation says, for those that don't know, you will be compensated for the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and your ability to be replaced. So if you rock at something and you love it and it puts you in a high vibration and that's the energy that you're sharing with the world, is there a need for what you do? Heck yeah. So every day you commit to growing your awareness and scaling up in that thing, you've just nailed down your ability to do it. And then if you really rock at something and you love it, can you ever be replaced? No, you can't. And that was a huge aha moment for me when I learned about this universal law. And it made me have flashbacks to when I first went on my very first maternity leave at the hospital that I was working at. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, how is this department going to run without me? Oh my gosh. That's it. Hospital shutting down. Because I would worked my ass off and I put all this stuff in place and I ran this and I did this and blah, 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 blah. You can imagine, right? And then guess what? I went on maternity leave. Hospital didn't shut down. They replaced me with somebody else. Yep. And then even when I came back after a whole year, because in Canada we get a year, that person stayed on, but really I came back pregnant. I was not employee of the year. And so very quickly I was off again, right? They replaced me again. What? And then I got seconded to another job and they replaced me again. Guess where I can't be replaced? Can't be replaced in this house that I live in. I can't be replaced in my husband's eyes, my kids' eyes. Mom, I'm sure you're on here right now. I can't be replaced by her in her eyes. Guys, just look at how do you want to live your life? I promise you, when you nail down your purpose and start showing up in this world the way that you were designed to show up, man, this is when everything comes together and it honestly just feels easy. That's the only way I can describe it. It just gets easy. But you have to fall in love with the idea. Okay, more often than not, when we think of love, like we tend to think of like two human beings falling in love. Okay, when they're in love, they enjoy the same ideas, their feelings are in harmony. Okay, love is resonance. Love occurs when two entities are on the same frequency. So when a person falls in love with an idea, their conscious and subconscious are resonating. They're in sync. And it's what's going on in the mind that dictates the vibration of the body and then moves you into action. But you first must allow yourself to fall in love with the idea of what you really love to do. And if you're going, I don't even know what that looks like, I actually have a Power of Purpose retreat coming up January 7th. You get entire month access to the High Vibe Society as well for an entire month. Join in. Join in. I'll link it up for you guys. Nikki, we will find your purpose. When you know your purpose, so in this retreat that I'm doing, it's an online retreat. We nail down your purpose. We nail down the vision for your life, and then we get goals that align with your vision and your purpose. Okay, there was a psychologist, Alfred Adler. He once said, "I'm grateful for the idea that used me." I'm grateful for the idea that used me. When you fall in love with an idea, it guides you. You don't guide it anymore. Nor are you going to find yourself digging around for like ambition or seeking to achieve your purpose. Like, oh, I want to do this. I got to find the motivation. You don't find motivation. When you're on purpose, you're so motivated. You're like, I can't stop. Half the time, you guys, I am like, I'll wake up at like 3 in the morning and I'm just like, I can't go back to sleep. I'm just so excited. Can you hear me now? Let me know. Keep me posted on Instagram. They can't hear me anymore. Not sure. Hang on. Better? Is that better? Can you hear me? Can you give me a thumbs up? Keep me posted. Okay. Can no longer hear you speaking. Oh. Retry. Another. I'm going to restart. I don't know how to fix my audio. There we go. Sorry about this. Let's try this again. Let's try it again. There we go. So I want you guys to think of how love is resonance. You have to fall in love with that idea. Because when you do, like I said, it all just gets easy. It'll push you out of bed in the morning, long before your alarm clock goes off. Okay, when you land your purpose and truly start doing what you love, it's like being 12 years old again, waking up on the first day of summer vacation. Right? When you wake up the next morning, you've changed. Between the last day of school and the first day of summer. Really? Did anything change? No. What changed? You. You changed. No more school. Right? This is the exact same thing. When you act on purpose, it pushes your ambition through the roof. Through the roof. And you can't go back. Okay? Nothing, you're just, people like see me and they're like, well, you don't look different, but you feel different. Why do you feel different? I hope I feel different. Being on purpose, I feel different. Even in the last year, I have people that have been with me in the High Vibe Society since we started it a year ago. And I would say in the last 2 months, they've been like, you've shifted so much in the last year. I hope so. Because just like we're loving and liberating 2021, I had to liberate myself from things that I was doing here in order to become the person I want to become. There's things I have to give up, but there's pieces of her that I'm like, no, I'm bringing that forward till I'm dead. I don't live in this body anymore. Okay, but you need to recognize you're not on this planet to live someone else's dream. What is it that you love to do? Okay, don't bother yourself with what anyone else says. That's why you're here. As I already explained, when you are not on purpose, odds are that you're not going to build in the right direction. But equally as important is this: when you believe you found your purpose, do not allow yourself to be dissuaded by others' opinions. Don't allow them to tell you in which direction to build. You already know. You're just in the habit of listening too much to what others have to say, even though they're not living your life. Some people have a lot to say, but they don't have the balls to do anything about it themselves in their own lives. Okay, be on purpose with your vision and your goals. If you're not on purpose, everything is off course and you're out of alignment and you feel it because I end up talking to you about it. Okay, when you have the right purpose, your vision just like comes to you. And your vision's like, oh, if you climb to the top of the mountain and your life was you're looking out over it, how do you want it to look? How do you want it to feel? Your vision just comes though. When you have the right vision, you can quickly recognize your goals. Like your goals are just like bites out of your vision. I just bought my first electric vehicle this week. And that was a total Delin goal achieved. Vision of my life, how I live, purchase. Paradigm's going, oh, it's electric. Not as many people have them. Blah, 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 blah. No, I have them. I drive sexy electric vehicles that are friendly to Mother Nature. That's what I do. Gonna buy a new vehicle? No brainer. That's an on purpose decision. And I can tell you every single time, because I decided I started toying around with it about a year ago. 6 months ago, though, I've known I was going to go electric. And ever since I made the decision, every time I filled up my car with gas, I was like, oh, like it's going against, it puts me in that, like, I'm going against what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe you get that feeling at work every day. You're like, I know towards the end of my time working at the hospital, I was getting that feeling of like, ugh, it's going against what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be doing something different, even though I had no freaking clue what that something was. That's okay. You just take action towards it. But once you've found your purpose, you can't help but express it. And then it helps you create and maintain this vision, right? Your vision is what you do with your life. Your vision is the strategy behind the fulfillment of your purpose. And it'll help you create several long-term or short-term goals. Right? Van Gogh, he said, I dream my painting and then I paint my dream. And we all know that Van Gogh knew his purpose in life. His vision then was the completion of paintings. And they were all so unique and different from one another. But how he put his vision to canvas involved a series of short-term goals. Okay, vision is the key connector between one's daily goals and our lifetime of purpose. Okay? So, your challenge tonight is I first want you keep filling in your love and liberates. Maybe I didn't give you enough time there. Okay. I want you to meditate, relax, get really connected, and reflect on the last year. Okay. What else do you want? What is holding you back from achieving it? I want you to cut the right side off your piece of paper, your Liberate side, and I want you to burn it. I want you to take a picture of it. I want you to post it. I want you to tag me in it at Delyn Miller, and that's how you'll enter to win. If you're already getting some awesomeness out of this, tag your friends. Tell them to join us. They can watch the replay and catch tomorrow. As long as you register, you're going to get the workbook too. And I've got some extra goodies in there for you. I want to continue tomorrow as we really start working on 2022. What's that going to look like? How's it going to feel? And we're going to start stepping into it. We are going to release 2021 and we're deciding. How's that sound? Good? Amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Yes, Corrine, you're committing. Amber, good. Michelle, love it. Thank you guys for joining me today. Sorry about the why my volume dropped in Instagram. Watch both spots. And I'm going to upload this to YouTube for you guys too. And I will see you tomorrow at noon. Deal? Thank you. You guys are amazing. Yes.